You're cleaning out your grandma's attic, dust everywhere, old furniture, junk, and then your hand hits something hard, something wrapped in cloth, something that hasn't been touched in decades. What you find next changes everything. These aren't legends, these aren't movies, these are real people, real houses, real treasure, and none of them were looking for it. Let's count them down. Number 7. The Walls That Paid Off, Cleveland, Ohio, 2012. Bob Kitts was hired to renovate a bathroom in an old house. Simple job. Tear out a wall, replace some pipes. He swung his hammer, the drywall cracked open, and there, stuffed inside the wall cavity, were 2 green metal lock boxes. He almost tossed them, but something made him stop. He pried the first one open. Inside, stacks of cash, rubber banded, neatly arranged, Depression-era bills, some dating back to 1929. The total? $182,000. In today's money, that's over $2.5 million. The bills were from the estate of a man named Patrick Dunn, a businessman who clearly trusted walls more than banks. But here's where it gets ugly. Bob told the homeowner, Amanda Reese. They agreed to split it. Then Amanda told her friends told lawyers. Soon, 21 of Patrick Dunn's descendants showed up, all claiming the money was theirs. What started as a lucky Tuesday turned into a 5-year legal nightmare. After attorney fees, court costs, and a judge's ruling, Bob and Amanda each walked away with a fraction of what they found. The lesson? Sometimes the wall should have stayed closed. Number 6. The Violin in the Attic. A family in England. 2008, they were clearing out their deceased uncle's attic. Boxes, old coats, a broken lamp, and then a battered, dusty violin case. They almost left it for the garbage truck. Instead, they cracked it open. Inside was a violin so old the varnish had turned the color of dark amber. A label inside read, Antonius Stradivarius Cremoni, 1727. Their hands were shaking. A Stradivarius in a dead uncle's attic in England. Experts verified it, authenticated it. The violin, later called the Lady Blunt, was auctioned at Tarisio. Final sale price? $15.9 million. The family had no idea their uncle even played. To this day, it remains one of the most valuable musical instruments ever sold at auction. The uncle? He died a quiet man. No one knows where he got it. Some secrets go to the grave. Number 5. Beneath the Floorboards, Pictou County, Nova Scotia, 1975. An elderly woman named Gertrude is selling her farmhouse. The new owners begin renovating. They pull up old floorboards in the living room. And there, wrapped in rotting burlap and sealed in tin cans, are 104 gold coins. British sovereigns, some dating back to the 1850s. The coins were still bright, still perfect, like they'd been buried yesterday. Experts estimated their value at $350,000 at the time. That's over $2 million today. Gertrude had lived in that house for 40 years. She walked over that fortune every single day, every morning, every evening, went to bed above a small gold mine she never knew. When told about the discovery, Gertrude reportedly said only one thing. My father was a strange man. The coins were sold at auction. The new owners got rich. Gertrude got nothing. Number 4. The Forgotten Paintings. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 1991. Terry Horton was a retired truck driver. She needed something cheap to cheer up a depressed friend. She walked into a thrift store and grabbed a painting. Messy, abstract, ugly. $5. She brought it home. Her friend hated it. So Terry tried to sell it at a garage sale. An art teacher walked by and stopped cold. Do you know what that is? Terry didn't. The teacher pointed to a partial fingerprint embedded in the paint. Forensic analysis matched it to one of the most famous artists in American history, Jackson Pollock. An authentic Pollock. Bought for $5 at a thrift store, found its way into a garage sale, almost thrown in a dumpster. Experts valued it between $25 million and $50 million. But here's the tragedy. The mainstream art world refused to officially authenticate it. Politics, gatekeeping, ego. For over 2 decades, Terry fought them. A truck driver versus the art establishment. She was offered $9 million. She refused, said it was worth more. As of the last reporting, the painting remains unsold. Terry Horton is in her 80s. Still holding on, still fighting. Some people find treasure and become rich. Terry found treasure and found a war. Number 3. Gold coins in the backyard. No wait. The kitchen, Saddle Ridge, California, 2013. A couple, who chose to remain anonymous, were walking their dog on their rural property. The dog stopped, sniffed at a rusted metal can half buried in the dirt near a tree. The man picked it up. It was heavy. Much too heavy. He pried it open. Gold coins. 1800s US mint gold coins. $20 denomination. Perfectly preserved. They kept digging. 7 cans in total. 1,427 gold coins. Face value at the time of minting. $27,000. Today's value, $10 million. The coins were so pristine, experts believe they were never circulated. Someone had buried them deliberately, carefully, and then never came back. The couple chose anonymity to protect themselves. They quietly sold the coins through Amazon, one of the largest private coin sales in U.S. history. Nobody knows who buried them. Nobody knows why. Some treasures answer questions. This one only created more. Number 2. The Superman that saved a house. Elbow Lake, Minnesota. 1951. Found in 2013. A man buying a house in rural Minnesota discovered something strange during the move-in. In a wall and stuffed between insulation was a copy of Action Comics #1. For those who don't know, Action Comics #1, published in June 1938, is the comic book where Superman first appeared. It is the holy grail of comic book collecting. This copy was in remarkable condition. Not perfect, but real. Graded by CGC, a professional comic grading service. Sold at auction for $175,000. In today's value, over $230,000. But wait, why was it in the wall? Turns out old comics were used as insulation in homes throughout the mid-20th century. People literally stuffed them in walls to keep warm. Priceless history, used as foam padding. The man used the money to save his house from foreclosure. Superman, in the most literal sense, saved the day. The previous owner never knew what was keeping their walls warm. Number 1. The man who found $500,000 in his father's wall and didn't tell anyone for years. Phoenix, Arizona, 2011. A man named Robert Buckner inherited his father's house after the old man died. Going through the property, he noticed something odd. One wall in the basement seemed thicker than it should be. He grabbed a hammer, knocked once, twice, hollow. He tore open the drywall, and there, in a hidden chamber his father had built with his own hands, were stacks of $100 bills sealed in plastic, gold bullion bars, a collection of rare coins. Total value, over $500,000. Adjusted for today, closer to $750,000. His father had been a quiet man, a simple man. Worked a regular job his whole life. Never seemed rich, never talked about money. But for decades, quietly, secretly, he had been hiding his life savings inside his own home. He trusted no bank. He trusted no person. He trusted only the wall. Robert sat in that basement for a long time before he told anyone. When asked why he waited, he said, "I just needed to understand who my father really was." The elder Buchner died a man his family thought they knew. Turns out, they never really